everybody. Welcome back. I hope you got a chance to meet with some of our recruiters during the break. So next up, we are going to talk about making workplaces more human, which probably could not be a more relevant thing at this time and kind of piggybacks well off of the last session. So first, please welcome our action speaker, Nayana Mallikarjun, Managing Director and U.S. Women's ERG Lead at Accenture.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Nayana Mallikarjun, and I'm very excited to be here at the Ellevate Mobilize Women Summit. I am a managing director at Accenture in our federal practice, where I run large, multifunctional and technical teams delivering complex solutions for the federal government. But in addition to my client work, I'm very proud to serve as the U.S. Women's Employee Resource Group lead, where I support almost 13,000 members across the U.S. Today, our incredible panel will discuss ways we can make the workplace more human. This topic resonates a lot with me and reminds me of the quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. At Accenture, our people are our most important asset. And as a leader, it is my job to inspire and motivate my team members and create a space where they feel safe and can be their authentic selves at work. I truly believe in this because these are the values defined and exhibited by our top leadership, starting with our CEO, Julie Sweet. Showing compassion, empathy, and care for our people is instilled in our leadership DNA and our core values as a company. When I think about being a leader at Accenture, the best leaders I have had showed empathy and care, not just for my team, but for me as an individual. Personally, the last few years have been pretty tough for me. My mother died suddenly in 2020 of cancer, and at the time, my team was working to win a very large opportunity that had me working many long hours, all the while I was trying to get promoted. And I kept pushing through, not realizing the toll it was taking on me emotionally and physically just to get through the day. But my lead saw this, and she did one simple thing. She reached out to me and told me it was okay to give myself some grace, to take the time I needed for myself, my mother, and my family. She said the work will be there another day, and stepping away would not be any indication of failure on my part. You see, we can't show up for work at our best if we aren't taking care of ourselves. My boss knew this, and in the most human, real, and compassionate way, she told me it would be okay. She could sense I was trying to do it all and knew that was impossible in that moment. She could see me, and I will never forget how she made me feel. So I have modeled this behavior with my own teams. I work to break down barriers, to have real conversations with people, to get to know them, to seek and support them in any way they need. I check in with them and see where I can help them with blockers at work or during times when they need to focus on themselves. But I didn't wake up one day knowing how to lead. Leadership is something that is learned and absorbed. And I'm very grateful to work for a company that is committed to creating an inclusive and safe workplace for all. And that starts with how we show up for our people. So fundamental to our business are our leadership essentials. These set the standard for what we expect of all of our people and enable us to successfully create value for our clients. Embedded in this approach is humanity and how we lead. It includes values like leading with excellence, confidence, and humility by being a learner, building great teams, and being naturally collaborative. Caring deeply for all of our people to help them achieve their aspirations professionally and personally, and having an unwavering commitment to inclusion and diversity. By embodying these values, we help create psychological safety to build trust with all levels of the workforce. At its simplest form, psychological safety is the ability to fully be yourself within your team. In other words, be truly human. This enables people to be more creative, feel empowered, and speak their minds. It enables people to raise an issue and suggest new ideas without fear of retaliation or punishment. So our end goal is for all people to feel seen, safe, connected, and courageous to bring their full and authentic selves to work. And one of the most important traits in leaders, especially now, is showing empathy to our people. My boss did this when my mother was dying. She understood what I was going through and reached out to support me. Mental health and wellness are necessary precursors to embodying inclusive behaviors. It is very difficult to feel empathy and extend beyond oneself to welcome another person when your own mental and emotional resources are depleted. So at Accenture, we lean into the strengths of our people. And as leaders, all of you can lean into the strengths of your teams. You will get great performance when you have people operating at the intersection of their strengths and their passions. One of my passions is supporting the Accenture US Women's ERG. We have 11 national ERGs, and they are an outlet for equitable programming and experiences at scale that create a thriving culture of diversity, inclusion, trust, and belonging among our people. And this unleashes greater worker potential. So essentially, ERGs are a communication channel with our people. They are critical to our retention strategy for underrepresented populations, and they serve as a driver for employee listening and engagement, and ultimately inform the business on actions that would better support the community. For me, being involved in ERGs has been an integral part of my role at Accenture, and a way where I could help create an inclusive environment for all people. And I encourage everyone to find an ERG or some type of leadership role that allows you to lean in as a leader and facilitate belonging at your company. So I got involved as the lead of the US Women's Employee Resource Group back in 2018. And at the time, we needed to rebrand and grow our membership. We were less than 6,000 members across the US. And after building a new core leadership team, we knew that we needed to focus on redefining the programming. This is things that go out to our people. We had to harness this if we wanted to make change and to support retention and engagement of our women. So that year, we made a lot of progress at the national level. We had over 10 broadcasts that created outlets for everyone to be able to join virtually. But then we created additional opportunities for our local chapters to have in-person events and connections with the people in their offices. But then COVID hit. And we thought, how are we going to continue to grow in a virtual world? How are we going to continue to create that human connection virtually and engage with our people? So what we did was to understand what was really, truly important to our members, what they were going through as our world were turned upside down during the pandemic. And we took what we learned and we infused these things into our national programming to provide real stories about things that are relevant and important to our membership. Stories and experiences from people you would never have had the chance to work with or meet because they lived hundreds of miles away from you. We developed broadcasts focused on professional development, barriers to advancement, leadership, women's health, and topics related to women of color. And through this programming, we moved from awareness to truly advocating for all types of women, often teaming up with other ERGs to focus on topics related to certain segments of our workforce. And as a result, we more than doubled our membership, and we now serve as a model for ERG best practices at Accenture. So through our core values and programs, I have learned that good leaders motivate and guide their team towards success. When you combine leadership and empathy, you become a powerful force for change. You can inspire others to work towards a common goal while also understanding their needs and concerns. So how can we become more empathetic leaders? It starts with listening. We need to listen to the people around us and try to understand their experiences and perspectives. We need to be open-minded and willing to learn. We need to lead by example. and show others what it means to be an empathetic leader. We need to be kind, compassionate, and understanding, and treat others with respect and dignity, regardless of their background or their beliefs. By leading with empathy, you can create a positive and supportive work environment where everyone feels valued and respected and truly human. So with that, I would like to turn it over to our esteemed panel to discuss more ways to make our workplaces more human.